It's been raining gold for our next guest, who won over 60 gold medals, competing in both the European and World Transplant Games for Team GB. Nicole MacKenzie from Pembroke was diagnosed with kidney failure at just 3 years old and urgently needed a transplant. And she probably never imagined she would turn out to be such a successful swimmer after getting the right transplant. She joins us now to tell us her story. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for coming in. And as we can see, there's quite an impressive medal haul that we have here, but actually you've got many more at home. Yeah,
I do have quite a few at home. I have a little shelf in my bedroom where I keep them all in my room.
Fantastic. And obviously they're from all over the world as well.
Yeah, they're all over the world and actually all over the country as well. So, yeah.
And as we said there, unfortunately you were diagnosed at 3 years old. You had your transplant, was it at 11?
11, yeah.
And where do you know the donor, or was it somebody in your family?
It was my dad, yeah. Oh, wow. It was my dad. Basically what happened when I was 3 years old, I was diagnosed with kidney failure. I had a condition called renal artery stenosis, which is the narrowing of the kidneys, supplying the blood through the arteries to the kidneys. And since when I was 3 years old up until 11, I was on a very strict diet and a lot of medication. And then by the time I was 11, they plotted when I'd need the transplant. And then they tested both my mum and dad. Luckily, they were both compatible. So my dad said he'd donate.
Wow. I mean, that obviously has to be the ultimate show of love for somebody, that he would kind of give up one of his kidneys for you. And I mean, obviously you've done really well since. You kind of the treatment worked, and obviously both of you have lived quite good lives since.
Both of us are really well, yeah, since then.
And how then did you get involved with the Transplant Games?
So basically my consultant at the time, Grania Welsh, introduced me and my family to the Transplant Games. We first went in Coventry 2009. I wasn't allowed to compete because it was so close to my transplant, but me and my parents just went to sort of meet other donor families and other children had transplants, and we enjoyed it that much. We went back the following year, which where I competed in Bath 2010. Oh, wow. And I won my first gold and first silver in swimming.
Oh, fantastic. And was it always kind of swimming that you were heading towards, or did you try a few other sports and activities before?
I mean, I always used to do swimming lessons like once a week when I was 3 years old up until 11, and I always did the odd occasional like 100-metre sprint, but I'm not a very good runner, so I did that as well. But yeah, I wasn't so good at that, but I always seemed to win medals in the swimming when I was younger.
And what sort of training regime have you had to do since then?
Well, on the lead up to like a major competition, I'll be swimming like 6 times a week, and then gym work on top of that as well. So like just weights in the gym, just to sort of build up my strength in the water as well.
Wow. And we've spoken to a few athletes before, and is the pool no different, that you have to go through quite a strict training regime, but also a strict diet sometimes as well?
Yeah, strict diet, yeah, definitely. A lot of carbs, so like lots of pasta. I love baked beans on toast as well.
Oh,
That's another favourite. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like constantly sticking to diet throughout the whole year. It would only be like on the lead up to the competition. So like a week before a competition, I'll have like a pasta week, like a very high like carb week before the competition, just to get my energy levels up. Okay. And obviously it's just important to eat throughout the day on the competition, because where you're like sat on poolside all day, it can get very like draining. So I also do keep like good energy food on poolside as well.
And do you find that, because it's just the one kidney you have now then from your father?
Yeah, well, I technically do have 3, but both of them are now literally shriveled up to the size of a pea, because obviously where they're dead now. But I keep my my dad one's is now in the front on the right hand side. And
so do you find that just having the one, does it help or hinder necessarily what you do?
No, it doesn't really affect me at all. No, not at all. I mean, when I went to the clinic a couple of weeks ago, they said I do actually have one of the best working kidneys they've ever like seen, like worked with. So like to hear them say that was really, really amazing.
And so then just talk about the games. Is it kind of the minimum requirement is you have to have a transplant, obviously?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And are there any other kind of stages that you need to go through to be accepted onto the team?
So basically, anyone's welcome who's had an organ transplant to compete in the British Transplant Games. You're then judged on how you perform at British Transplant Games to then be selected for the World Transplant Games. Hence why when I won my gold and silver at my first British in Bath 2010, I was then selected for the World Transplant Games in Gothenburg, Sweden 2011.
Oh wow, fantastic. Yeah. And I understand as well that kind of you're always on the lookout for new sponsors, people to kind of help support your journey. Are you looking for sponsors now?
Oh yeah, I'm most definitely looking for sponsors. Yeah, if anyone could help in any way and sponsor me, that I'd be really grateful.
I mean, who are some of the people that have supported you in the past?
Speedo have actually, the swimming company Speedo, they've actually kitted me out twice with 2 racing caps and 2 race suits. I mean, these race suits are like £400 each, and these race caps are like £30, so nothing I'd ever be able to afford in my life.
So yeah, not just like getting a bikini down the Asda or something.
No, not if you wanted to dive in and it all fall off. Yeah.
And so if there was anybody out there that wanted to help support you on your journey, what would they need to do?
Just get in contact with me, most definitely, or find me on Facebook obviously as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, very best of luck with your continued success in the pool. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.